Well, hello. Welcome to Supposedly Fun. My name is Greg. I am here to do a Friday Reads video because that's what we do on Fridays, isn't it? And I had some book updates and things that I thought it would be fun to talk about. So here we are. Anyway, happy Friday. It has been a long week for me. Hope y'all are doing well. I am not Southern, and I use the word y'all a fair amount. Is that cultural appropriation? I don't know. You decide. Leave it in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Anyway, let's get right into it. And let's talk about the one that's been ongoing the longest. I started reading Lonesome Dove in March, as it was my choice of Mammoth for March of the Mammoths, which is a book that is larger than 800 pages. It is, I believe, 850 something. It is 858 pages long, at least in this edition. I am buddy reading this with Rick from Another Kick at the Canlet. Obviously, we started it just as the world was starting to really go mad, and that has caused the buddy read to get drawn out. Circumstances, I've been still working full-time, and because I'm trying to keep my job, I've been working really long hours, so I don't get a lot of reading done during the week. He and his wife are raising a guide dog, so it's just, we've been taking it slowly, getting through. I'm reaching the finish line. I only have about 200 pages left in this book, and I did a good chunk of it last night. I read about 50 pages last night, and I think the problem is just finding the time to sit down and do it, because once I pick it up, I really enjoy it a lot. This is easily, I think, going to be one of my favorite books of the year. We're not even halfway through right now, but I can guarantee, at least when I do my mid-year check-in, it's going to be in the favorites. I think this is definitely going to be one of my favorites of the year. I do have a favorite that surpasses it. If you've watched, you could probably guess what it is. But otherwise, I'm just going to save the identity of that other book for when I do my mid-year check-in in June. So you're going to have to stay tuned and insert evil laugh right here. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this book a lot. It is, I had wanted to read His Family by Ernest Poole to kick off my Pulitzer Prize project, and because I suck at TBRs, I never got around to doing that. His Family was the one that won the first ever Pulitzer Prize for fiction. So instead, I'm kicking it off with this. And I think this is a really good way to kick it off. It also ties in with my project this year, my reading goal to read outside your comfort zone. I don't read a lot of Westerns. I read True Grit earlier this year and now this. And I think that the takeaway is that I like Westerns. At least I like the literary ones. Interestingly, okay, funny story. There's an author photo of Larry McMurtry on the back of my copy of Lonesome Dove, and it has been bothering me for a while. I keep looking at it and thinking, who does he look like? Who does he look like? And it finally came to me. He looks just like Howard from the Great British Bake Off. And if you watch the Great British Bake Off, I hope you know what I'm talking about, because it's uncanny. I love it, and now I can't stop staring at the photo because it's totally Howard. From the Great British Bake Off. If you are unfamiliar, I'll briefly put a photo up here of Howard. And come on, tell me that doesn't work. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to finishing this book, and it's really good. I had a lot of thoughts in the beginning about the female characters and the way that they are portrayed in the narrative, but I'll get into it when I talk about the book at length, but I really like it. And plus, again, my version of it has this really pretty design where the stars glimmer if you shake it in the light. So I keep doing that. So anyway, that's just me, and that is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, which I am looking forward to finishing hopefully soon. I want to have this done by May, so I can kind of clear my schedule for some other things. The other things, physical books that I'm currently reading is I started a buddy read with Sean the Book Maniac this week. It's My Father, Myself by J.R. Ackerly with an introduction by W.H. Auden. Now, interesting thing, I told Sean this. His version does not have the introduction by Auden. I think it's really offensive and made me really not like Auden. But I will talk about that later. We're not very far in. This is going to be a very slow buddy read. The chapters are short, and we've decided we are only going to read 2 chapters a week. That way, we still get the buddy read, but it becomes more like a long-term project. No pressure, because with things going on, reading has been a real struggle for me and for him and for a lot of other people. So we want to take things slowly and not pressure. So far, the only thing I've read in here is the introduction, and my plan is to sit with this one tonight, get those 2 chapters in if I can, and then that will clear my way for the next book I'll talk about. But so if you're unfamiliar, this book is about, it's a memoir, it's nonfiction. J.R. Ackerly was a writer. He was the editor of, I want to say the BBC. Let me see if I can find it. There's got to be a little blurb about him. Okay, he was the literary editor of the BBC magazine The Listener for a time, and he was openly gay in the 1920s, which was pretty unheard of. And this is about his complicated relationship with his father. After his father died, he found out secrets about his father and the way his father had lived his life. So it's, and if you know me, you know that's exactly the kind of thing I like. I like complicated family stories. I love when somebody really interrogates their own family history or their own life. So I'm really looking forward to actually diving into this and making it a longer term project with Sean, the book Maniac. The other one that I am buddy reading right now, so I'm reading 3 physical books, 3 buddy reads at one time. Madness, but it's all going well so far. I've kind of got my reading mojo back, and I'm really hoping it stays this way. Is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. I am buddy reading this with Britta Buller from The Second Shelf, and we have only read the first part so far, and by Sunday I need to get part 2 in, so I am going to, as I said, spend tonight, get the first 2 chapters of this done, and then focus on making sure I stay caught up with this, and then, Lonesome Dove, as I get to it, I get to it. But I am not going to say much about this one. I'm going to save it until we get further in and get, a chance to comment back and forth a little bit more. A lot will depend on how the next part and the part after that go, because I think there are only 3 parts in total. So that is the other book I am currently reading in physical format, and Jamie might be about to bark. In case she doesn't, because she seems to have stopped, I am also listening to the audio of The Only Plane in the Sky. This is for the BookTube prize. I am judging nonfiction for this round. And I'm sorry, I'm distracted by Jamie, who keeps scrolling. Good times. Good times. Okay, I think we're back on track. A couple walked by, and that really offended Jamie. Because people are home more, a lot more people have been walking by, and that just drives her nuts. So, it is what it is. Anyway. The Only Plane in the Sky. I am doing nonfiction for the BookTube prize this round, and I am not going to talk about it as such because I can tell you I'm reading it, but I can't tell you what I think. So that is going to have to wait. I'm a big tease today. So just know I'm reading it, I'm listening to it, and when I'm done with this, I have a hold of The Heartbeat of Wounded Knee by Dee Brown coming up on the Libby app. We'll listen to that on audio, also for the BookTube prize. If that takes a little bit longer, once I finish The Only Plane in the Sky, if they don't line up, I will probably start the audio of Sea People, which will also be for the BookTube prize, nonfiction round. And now let's get into some things that are, well, I've already kind of talked about things that are coming up with the audio, but let's talk about some physical books that are coming up. Sarah from Hardcover Hearts and I are going to do a buddy read of Cloudstreet by Tim Winton. We agreed to start this in the last month of April, heading into May. That is kind of why I am hoping I will be able to get Lonesome Dove finished, because I really want to be able to focus on this. No pressure if I don't. Lonesome Dove is it's turned into a longer term project as it is. But yeah, so we're going to start. So we wanted to get this in April, technically, for Aussie April. But what we're doing is we're starting it at the end of April, crossing into May. But it still gets Aussie April as a technicality. I've heard really good things about Tim Winton. I'm really looking forward to giving Tim Winton a try and seeing if he's an author that I'm going to really like, because he has a lot of other books that I can explore if I do like him. So in other things that I can explore, once I have some of these buddy reads cleared out, I need to do a little bit more reading in May for the BookTube prize. I have 2 of the books in physical copy, so I will be getting to them. There's Trick Mirror by Gia Tolentino. Really looking forward to this. It's a collection of essays. And I also have A Woman of No Importance by Sonia Purnell in physical copy, and I'm looking forward to this one as well. Those will both be for the BookTube prize, so once I actually start them, I will not be able to tell you what I think of them. I also, spoiler alert for the book haul video that I'm going to do for this month, actually, it's already a bit of a spoiler. I got volume 2 of My Brother's Husband by Gengoroh Tagame. I read part 1 in one day, and I didn't realize that to get the full story, you really need volume 2. So I ordered volume 2, it came, and because the other one was such an easy project, I read it in basically an afternoon. I'm going to give this a try. And this is also part of my Read Outside Your Comfort Zone challenge. Not only is it an author outside of North America and Europe, it is a manga, which is something I had never read before. So it qualifies for that. And I will be fitting this in at some point whenever I have a spare afternoon. And I'll talk more about it once I have both volumes done. So that is pretty much everything I have going on in my reading life at this moment, in my reading life to come. Get all of them. Was there anything else I wanted to cover in this Friday Reads video? Yes, there is. I have a channel recommendation for you. Lindsay's Book Life. She is a new bookish friend, and I've really been enjoying her channel. I will link it down below. Please check out her channel and give it a look. And if you like it, hit subscribe. I've been really enjoying following it. In terms of regular viewing on YouTube, I have still been falling behind a lot because I don't have... I'm on the phone a lot for work, so I don't have a whole lot of time to watch videos, and I'm kind of tired by the end of the day, so I haven't been getting them in then. In fact, when I've had spare time, I've been listening to my audiobook for the BookTube Prize, which I mentioned earlier. So unfortunately, I have not fallen way far behind, even more than usual, on videos. I spent some time today getting caught up. I watched Eric Carl Anderson's reaction to the Women's Prize shortlist. As always, it was good. It was good. He does great content for that, and I spent some time catching up on Brian at Bookish's channel, which was also a delight. So, you know, if I haven't commented on your videos in a while, I promise I will get caught up, or at least I will try. You know, everything's been a struggle lately, and it's funny working full time. I feel like I can't complain because I'm fortunate to still be working full time, but it just feels like there's no time for anything anymore. But it's a good problem to have. So it is what it is. Anyway, I think that's my Friday Reads right there in a nutshell. And I will be plowing through these, getting to these. If you have read any of these books, I would love to hear some feedback. If there's anything you've been enjoying lately, I would love to hear that as well. Again, if you think I'm doing cultural appropriation by saying y'all when I am a New Yorker, let me know that as well. So you want to tell me what's going on in your life. I hope you're staying safe, hope your families are doing well. Leave whatever comment you want down below. And happy Friday Reads. I'd love to hear what you are going to be reading this weekend as well. And thank you for your time. As always, I really appreciate it, especially if you subscribed. If you don't subscribe, I hope you enjoyed this enough to follow along. And as always, I will be back. Until next time, happy reading.